There were two goals in the series. One was to tell the story of the women of Gotham, and the other was to do a fan film on a level that no one had ever done before. What is a fan film? I actually had a debate with another fan film producer as to what that is. In many ways, we're all fans of what we film. When Hollywood is making a movie about something, let's say they're making the Green Lantern film, they're fans of it, so how is that not a fan film? Well, the real answer is, I think a fan film is fan-made. It's a low-budget film. There are stories told by fans for fans, not for profit, regarding characters that people are passionate about. These are actually the first pages of episode 1. And, you know, we've already released a bunch of teasers and stuff online, but when you write, especially for a first episode, you really want the first scenes to be epic.
My name is Marisha Ray, and I am a producer as well as a co-creator on Batgirl Spoiled, and I'm also playing Batgirl, aka Stephanie Brown.
Marisha and I met in the top of the Hyatt bar at Comic-Con. My friends and I were up there, and I sat down, and sitting directly in front of me was Marisha Ray, and I was like, this girl is gorgeous, and she's charming, and she's intelligent, and she's a nerd, and all I could think there was, I better start making something happen with this person creatively before she gets too famous for us. And somewhere along the way, I was like, you know, we should do a web series. We should do a web series about Gotham because we're all very passionate about it. And then a week later, I called her up and said, what about Stephanie Brown?
I'm Tara Strand, and I am a co-producer, costume supervisor, and I also play Harley Quinn for the web series Batgirl Spoiled. Sax had first contacted me through Facebook about this web series and being Harley Quinn in it. So I met with him and Marisha and was totally on board, really excited to get to be a part of it.
You really define your Batgirl by their costumes, and that means that, you know, this costume has to be exact. It had to have the purple flanks, it had to have the right sort of ribbing along the sides, the symbol had to be right, the cowl had to be right.
This suit was made by the amazing Sharon McGonigal.
She's actually a professional costumer for the LA Opera. And she constructed it for us because we didn't have the equipment it would take to build this, but to our own designs.
She built a suit that not only was like gorgeous with all these like great details to it, but something that basically gone through hell with like all the fighting and just all the physical stuff that Marisha's had to do in it.
The first time we got the entire suit together, everyone in the room was just like, oh my god, I can't believe we did this, and holy shit, check it out, Batgirl's here. It's really empowering to be in it. It's almost like having your own avatar and transforming into a higher being.
One of the fun things about getting into these suits is getting to be these characters and kind of live it out. So you have all this permission to kind of be something else, which is obviously some side of you. Like, I think we all have every archetype in us. You put on that costume and you get to live out this other facet freely.
We are the pioneers of geek being cool.
Geeks, nerds, dorks, I'm comfortable with all those labels.
And it wasn't even until I was approaching my teen years that one, I even realized that I was classified as a nerd, and two, that I was comfortable accepting that.
I believe I'm technically a geek because I'm a highly socially functioning, but I am more obsessed about specifics and details.
One thing I think is a big misconception is that like female geeks are kind of this new thing. We've always been around just as long as guys, you know, in one form or another.
You should totally embrace it. And it's not 1962 anymore. Like, if the big bully kid goes, "You're a geek," then you just go, "Okay." It's always been a dream of mine to portray some sort of a superhero or an action type role on camera. All of those really empowered, amazing females. One of my favorite movies was Matrix, you know, having Trinity, and she's like a badass and she don't need makeup. she's awesome the way she is.
Marisha had already been in like 6 months of combat training, because one of the things that we're doing is on top of building the costumes, we're building the Batgirl. So, she's learning multiple disciplines and whatnot at this point.
Like, if I can do a crazy flying side kick to a thug in the face and then land in the splits, then that makes me that much more Batgirl than just a trick of the camera.
A relatively common question that we were asked is, why put so much time and effort and money, lots of money, into this series when we can't make a profit by it? It's the same reason people draw Batman on their own. It's the same reason people write fan fiction. It's the same reason that people dress up as these characters on Halloween. It is something that we're so passionate about that we want to somehow live it. I've always felt really passionate about learning about these characters because I feel like there are legends. Batman is as much the stories of our culture as anything else is. Looking at what we've put into it so far, I would do it 1,000,000 times. And we've come to love this character, and we've come to connect with the fans who love it, and we really feel like there's this broader geek community around Stephanie that we really like. And I just want to continue telling her stories as long as I can, and in whatever medium possible. If it has to become a radio play, it's happening.